Welcome to Cooking with Cleo. Cleo is taking a nap right now, so she won't be in this video, but we are going to work on a delicious chicken broth. This is also called a remoulade. You've bought your Costco rotisserie chicken, and you've eaten the chicken. Don't throw away the bones. Let's use them again. So this is all that we do for this recipe, and it's so easy. Not very time consuming, except for like cooking time. So all we do is we're going to cut up some carrots. I only have baby carrots, so we're going to use some baby carrots today. And I have onions. Traditionally, it's carrots, onions, and celery. This is called mirepoix. Mirepoix is like the base of most French soups and sauces. And honestly, it's a lot. So this is actually a cooking basic. It's really important to have chicken stock just around. We use chicken stock for a ton of things. If you don't eat meat, you can make a vegetable stock with pretty much the same method. And I'm using vegetables that I just have because I honestly need to go grocery shopping. But my sister, I know that when she makes stock, she just saves the odds and ends of vegetables she's been cooking with in a bag in the freezer, and then when she's ready to make the stock, she just puts it together. Some people put the skins and everything into the stock with onions. I don't like doing that. I think it makes it a little more bitter. We don't have to make it perfect though, because in the end we're just going to strain the stock, and I just do like a rough chop. So here, I'll move you down so you can see what I'm doing. Oops. Okay, so rough chop on these, and then we'll have vegetable oil in the pot that we're going to put everything into. And then we'll just, so like really, really rough. Like, you don't have to care about knife skills at all with this one. I'm just cutting it so that we're releasing a little more flavor into this stock. So I said stock, but there's really a difference between broth and stock. So broth is bones that have already been cooked, and stock is using bones that haven't been cooked. So if you have a raw chicken and you butcher it up into pieces, and then you take the bones and you put them in water, that is a stock. This we're making is a broth or a remoulade. I know I'm saying that wrong. You can look it up. It's French for re-wetting. So it means that you're re-wetting the bones. And they've already been cooked, and this stock has a little less, well, I don't know, it's kind of, it depends on how long you stew it for. The flavor is different in stock and broth, but not so different that it makes a huge difference in any recipe. Usually you can get away with both. Stock's typically not salted, and this usually has salt in it because of the fact that the chicken's already been cooked. Usually you season chicken. Especially since this is a rotisserie chicken. This chicken was barbecue chicken. That was rotisserie style that we purchased. And so we have seasonings from that will be playing into the flavor of the broth that we have. So with mirepoix, traditionally, you have 50% onions, 25% carrot, and 25% celery. I thought I had celery. I looked, and it was just this shriveled celery piece just left in my fridge. So we don't have celery, but I do have mushrooms. I'm not going to add too many mushrooms because I don't want the stock to taste mushroomy, but it will add just a little bit of flavor, and I'm doing a rough chop on these mushrooms as well. So we have just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan. You can kind of see the oil moving around. And it's nice and hot, so we're going to throw our onions in. Yeah, there's a couple carrots mixed in. And we're just going to sweat the onions, so that means we're cooking them until the onions are translucent. And then we'll be adding in the carrots. I usually add the carrots in a little before, because either way you're going to be cooking down this in. All we really want is the flavor, but we're just kind of soothing the onions and sweating them. You can see our onions are sweating a bit. You can see that some of the onions are starting to become translucent. I'd get closer, but the camera will get all steamy and that won't be fun for you. And so now we're going to add our carrots in. And give it a nice stir. Let it sit for a second. Ready, our broth is becoming very aromatic. It smells so good. We'll add our mushrooms in. Remember, we didn't want to add too many of those. Honestly, though, you can add whatever vegetables you have on hand, whatever vegetables you want. The only vegetables I don't really recommend, avocado doesn't really work. Like if you have like the ends of lettuce, it's okay, but it doesn't add too much, and sometimes it just makes it a little more bitter. But yeah, that's the base. This is our mirepoix. Not really mirepoix because it's not celery, it's mushrooms, but now we will go ahead and add our chicken. So I have my chicken all ready to go. All the meat has been kind of pushed off the bone, and I'm going to even add in, I know this is going to look gross, but this jelly stuff, some people are really grossed out by it, but it has so much flavor in it, and it'll add so much to our stock. I promise you, it'll be really, really worth it to add this in. Now, once you've added all your chicken pieces, you're going to cover the chicken in water. I'm going to need a little bit more water. You don't need to cover the chicken completely, but just enough. Now you're going to bring it to a simmer and let it simmer for 4 to 6 hours, depending on how potent you want it. And when you're ready, you're going to taste the broth, and you're going to think, is this good? Do I want it to be more flavorful? If you want it more flavorful, you keep it on for longer. If you want it to be where it's at, great. If you want it to, if you're like, whoa, I went too long and you need less flavor, all you have to do is add more water. Has made an appearance, and we are just checking in on our stock. You can see it's been roughly an hour, and our stock is starting to develop this brown color, which is wonderful. As we continue, it should get a little darker, and in about 2 hours or so, I'll go ahead and taste it. It's been 3 hours. Cleo just woke up from her nap. You might be able to hear her in the background, but really quickly, we are going to look at our stock. So we have a goldenish color, and we're going to go ahead and give it a taste. That's really good, actually. Very good flavor. You can definitely taste that this was a very well seasoned barbecue chicken. So the next step will be to strain and cool it. We have finished our stock, and we are going to strain it. This stock that I've made will be just immediately stored in, sorry, Cleo's being loud. I'm gonna move her away. How about actually not there? That's not a good place for you. Okay, anyways, I'm going to strain it into this measurement thing, and since I'm going to be storing it immediately in the freezer, I will be putting it into some of my milk storage bags. So you can see it's a nice golden color. That's fantastic. And we're just straining it. I did let it cool on the stove for quite some time because I didn't really want to handle it when it was super, super hot. But you know, if you want to handle it when it's super hot, be my guest. Have fun. Don't burn yourself. If you burn yourself, I'm not responsible. Cool. Then we put that to the side. I've got some milk storage bags, and I'll just take it and pour a bit in, and then I'll label them and date them. And now I have stock, and this is perfect for if I'm making a soup. Just take them out and throw them in my soup and let them thaw. So, very fun. Very exciting. Cleo, do you have any thoughts? Ooh, you want to try it, Cleo? Let's have Cleo try it. Here, we got a tasting spoon for you. Cleo, you want to try it? Here, try. What do you think? Good? Yeah, it's good. It's yummy, huh? Okay, enjoy your stock, your broth, your rémillade, whatever. And I would like to thank you for watching another episode of Cooking with Cleo. And if you liked this video and want to see more, go ahead and give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe. And let us know what you want to see in the future.